Sofia sat in the dim light of her living room, the shadows stretching across the walls like the fingers of a ghostly hand. The house was silent, save for the occasional creak of the old wooden floors, a sound that had become all too familiar since the passing of her young son, Ethan. Her eyes, once bright with life, were now dulled by grief, a perpetual fog clouding her vision. She clutched a worn photograph of Ethan, his innocent smile a haunting reminder of the life that had been so cruelly taken from her. The room was filled with relics of a happier time. A small teddy bear with a missing eye, a pair of tiny shoes, and a stack of picture books with dog-eared pages. Each item was a dagger to her heart, a reminder of the child she could no longer hold. The air was thick with the scent of lavender, Ethan's favorite, which she used to mask the stale odor of neglect that had settled in her home. It began with a whisper, soft and indistinct, like the rustle of leaves in the wind. "Mommy." The voice was unmistakably Ethan's, a sound she had longed to hear but never expected. Her heart leapt, a flicker of hope igniting within her. But as the whispers grew more frequent, they carried a sinister undertone that chilled her to the bone. They came at all hours, echoing through the halls, seeping into her dreams, turning them into nightmares. Desperate for answers, Sofia turned to the town's folklore, stories she had once dismissed as mere superstition. The legend of the Hachishakusama, a malevolent spirit that preyed on the grief-stricken, caught her attention. The entity was said to be a towering figure, 8 feet tall, with a face obscured by a wide-brimmed hat and a flowing white dress that seemed to float above the ground. It lured its victims with the voices of their loved ones, feeding on their despair until nothing was left but a hollow shell. Sofia's search for the truth led her to the outskirts of town, to the dilapidated home of an old woman known for her knowledge of the supernatural. The woman's eyes were milky with age, her voice a raspy whisper. "The Hachishakusama is drawn to those who cannot let go," she warned. "It thrives on your pain, your longing. You must find peace, or it will consume you." The words echoed in Sofia's mind as she returned home, her heart heavy with dread. She knew she had to confront the spirit, to face the darkness that had taken root in her life. That night, as the wind howled outside, she sat in Ethan's room, surrounded by his belongings. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, filling the room with an oppressive presence. "Mommy, come play with me," the voice taunted, a cruel imitation of her son's innocent plea. Sofia closed her eyes, tears streaming down her face as she clutched Ethan's teddy bear. "I miss you, Ethan," she sobbed, her voice breaking. "I wish I could hold you one more time." The air grew cold, a chill that seeped into her bones. She felt a presence behind her, an overwhelming sense of dread that made her skin crawl. Slowly she turned, her heart pounding in her chest. There, in the doorway, stood the Hachishakusama, its form shrouded in darkness, its eyes glowing with a malevolent light. Sofia's mind raced, a torrent of fear and desperation. She knew she had to let go, to release the hold her grief had on her, but the pain was too great, the loss too profound. The spirit's voice echoed in her mind, a cacophony of whispers that threatened to drown her. "Join me, Sofia. Be with your son." In that moment, Sofia realized the truth. The Hachishakusama was not offering a reunion, but an eternity of torment. She had to fight, to reclaim her life from the clutches of despair. With a strength she didn't know she possessed, she stood her ground, her voice steady. "You won't take me. I won't let you." The spirit's form wavered, its power diminished by her resolve. But it was not defeated. It lunged towards her, its shadowy tendrils reaching for her soul. Sofia screamed, a primal sound that echoed through the house, a release of all the pain and sorrow she had held inside. As the first light of dawn broke through the windows, the spirit vanished. leaving Sofia alone in the silence. She sank to the floor, exhausted but alive, the weight of her grief lifted, if only slightly. She knew the battle was not over, that the Hachishakusama would return, but she had found a glimmer of hope, a reason to fight. Days turned into weeks, and Sofia slowly began to heal. She visited Ethan's grave, bringing fresh flowers and speaking to him as if he were there beside her. She found solace in the memories, the happy times they had shared, and the knowledge that he would always be a part of her. But the whispers never truly left. They lingered in the shadows, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond the veil. Sofia learned to live with them, to accept them as a part of her life. She found strength in her vulnerability, a resilience that carried her through the darkest nights. Yet, in the quiet moments, when the world was still, she could feel the Hachishakusama watching, waiting for the day when her resolve would falter. She knew that the battle for her soul was far from over, that the spirit would never truly be gone. But she was no longer afraid. She had faced the darkness and emerged stronger, a testament to the power of love and the resilience of the human spirit. In the end, Sofia's story was one of tragedy and triumph, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always a glimmer of hope. Her journey was far from over, but she faced it with courage and determination, knowing that her son was with her every step of the way. And though the whispers continued to haunt her, they were no longer a source of fear, but a reminder of the love that would never die.